Hello, everyone. My name is Carlos. I am a co-facilitator in our community outreach program. I want to welcome everybody to Free Minds on the Same Page Right Week, a mutual exchange of hope and healing between incarcerated poets and the community. We thank you all for being here with us today. Our featured poet ambassador in today's special video is poet ambassador Kevin. He was just released on the IRA in February. And Kevin, I want to start out by first of all saying welcome home. I know it's been amazing and it's been a short period of time, but I definitely want to welcome
Thank
you,
you. I
and thank you
appreciate
for
you.
being with us today.
Thanks for having
Um,
me.
can we please start before we go any further? Can we start by having you read one of your poems for us?
All right. This particular poem I'm about to read is titled "Arrested Development." Um, it goes. They were arrested before their minds fully developed, before they could legally drink or drive, before she could figure out why she craved attention from older boys, before he understood the heavy price for living in the fast lane, before she understood that with love there would always be pain. Before he realized this caste system would mark him at birth, before she came to the realization of a woman's worth, before he understood that he was complicit in destroying his own neighborhood, before she realized that trading her love for gifts will render her heart no good, before he understood that just being a male didn't make him a man, before she came to know there was more to being a woman than red bottoms and Birkin bags, before they knew that throughout life they'd be tested. Before their minds fully developed, they were arrested. That's it.
Man, that's an amazing poem. Let me ask you a quick question though, because talking to you before, um, I heard you mention like you don't consider yourself a poet, but like your words in this poem right here is strong. Like it captivates attention, especially like how you go back and forth between a male and a female. Let me ask you like first of all what made you write this poem? Like what were you feeling and where were you at when you wrote this poem?
Well, I want to say I was in Coleman, Florida at the time,
Hmm.
and it was during that time where the IRA bill was being passed, and or it wasn't passed just yet, but it was in the makings,
Hmm.
and as you can see, this from the last line on here, before their minds fully developed, they were arrested. So that's the premise of the of what inspired the poem. Just the thought of us being juveniles or considered juveniles, and how we came up, and in an environment we came up in, and we were our wings was clipped, and we was arrested at a young age before our minds fully matured. So
Definitely,
yeah,
and well said. Now let me ask you another question, right? Because I like how you articulate yourself in this poem, right? What role would you say education has had on you and the encouragement it has had, like for your writing, and in sharing your writing at that?
oh well, I think it played a big part. I didn't finish school, like high school or anything. So I acquired my GED while I was incarcerated, and I always loved to read and write letters. That was a big thing for me, man. As far as communicating. So I can say that me being able to read and comprehend on a certain level, and that really helps with expressing yourself when when you're writing.
Thank you. Now another thing that we've done like on the background was you share with us like you have shared your poetry with Free Minds before, but didn't have the opportunity to receive the feedback through mail. But you did have the opportunity the other day for the first time to see that feedback yourself. What was that feeling of first of all of that feedback when you read it?
Well, like you said, man, from onset, I really I don't view myself as a poet. You know what I mean? And but I appreciate the feedback, and it inspires me to, to want to write and, just exercise that skill, because I see that, I made connections with people, and people that I don't know. And, it's just that, the words of encouragement that they give me, when they read my poem, and the comments that they made, it's very inspiring, man. It makes me, it's a good feeling,
Yeah, and just for emphasis, you read that feedback at post incarceration, right?
Right, exactly. So, I never saw it during, during my imprisonment. I never got the feedback because, they move us around and whatnot.
Mhm.
So, yeah, so, to read that feedback now, just it's still the same effect. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
So,
Still
if you would had that feedback while incarcerated, that impact would be just the same. In other words,
just the same, no question. Yeah, exactly.
and along with, like, just not just feedback, but like tell us in your words through your experience, like how important is mail to you?
Oh man, mail is everything. I'm pretty sure you can understand that. That's one of the big things. Like, that's the highlight of the day, man, in prison, because it's like you getting you getting a glimpse of what's going on out in the free world. Whether it's from somebody that you know, or like, a letter from Free Minds, or whatever magazine or periodical, whatever have
Yeah.
you. It's just, it's just something. And it's really helpful, man, to the mental. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and that's crazy. Like a lot of people won't know that importance, right? And you touched like one of those things like we could go deep on, but just the mental, just feeling like a human being and the
Right.
connection with another human being,
Absolutely.
it does wonders. You know what I mean? To
Absolutely.
just it's to me it was uplifting, right? And
No,
and
no
it's
question.
like I said, from one human being to another. And one last question, right? The people who's joining us today will be partaking in some of the feedback. So my question is, what advice would you give them as they try to do feedback for other poems?
Well, first and foremost, just, be sincere, about how you feel about, the poem or whatever. And, and just out of being, just being decent, you address people by their name, and it's just more personal. And the feeling that it gives on the opposite end, it's just a connection that you make with people when you call them by their name, and just express yourself and be sincere. That's the best thing I can tell you.
Yeah, that and I like how you said that, like just the sincerity, transparency,
Yeah.
and connection. Again, a connection between two human beings. You know what I
Right.
mean? So that's definitely added to that. But thank you, Kevin. Thank you for being with us today. Thank you
Thanks
for
for having me.
sharing your poetry. I definitely encourage you to continue to do so because it has power behind it. And I
I
want to
appreciate you.
thank everyone for coming. Please make sure you read all the poems on the tables in order to continue this Right Week event. Also, if you wish to make a donation, please join us in our Free Minds page. And any little amount counts, even if it's $1, that's just enough to send the feedback to the members. Please enjoy the poems, and we look forward to seeing you in our next Right Night in September. Thank you.